I'm sure you've heard the rumors about the cherry tree, the boy who could not tell a lie. It's a great story, but here's the truth. It was invented by a biographer long after Washington's death to sell books. So, let's skip the myths and meet the real guy who shaped a nation. The man was far more complex and fascinating than the legend. Born in 1732 in colonial Virginia, George Washington wasn't destined for greatness. He was a third son with a limited education, but he possessed immense ambition. As a teenager, he taught himself land surveying, a crucial skill that gave him an intimate knowledge of the American frontier and helped him acquire land. His early military career during the French and Indian War was rocky. He made mistakes, faced defeat, and even inadvertently sparked a global conflict. But these failures forged him. He learned invaluable lessons about leadership, strategy, and the harsh realities of warfare. He returned to his estate, Mount Vernon, a seasoned veteran, hungry for a larger stage. That stage arrived in 1775. As tensions with Britain boiled over, the Second Continental Congress needed a leader. They unanimously chose Washington as commander-in-chief of the Continental Army. He faced an impossible task, holding a fragile revolution together with a ragtag army of farmers against the most powerful military on earth. The early years were brutal, marked by humiliating defeats and strategic retreats. By the winter of 1776, the cause seemed lost. But then came the turning point. On a freezing Christmas night, Washington led his men on a daring secret crossing of the icy Delaware River, surprising and defeating the Hessian forces at Trenton. It was a stunning victory that electrified the colonies and saved the Revolution from collapse. Yet the struggle was far from over. The brutal winter at Valley Forge tested the limits of human endurance. But through it all, Washington's steadfast leadership held the starving, freezing army together, transforming it into a disciplined fighting force. In 1783, against all odds, victory was won. In a move that shocked the world, Washington resigned his commission and returned to his farm at Mount Vernon. He willingly gave up power, proving he wasn't a king in waiting, but a true public servant. But his country called again. In 1787, he was coaxed out of retirement to preside over the Constitutional Convention, lending his immense prestige to the task of creating a new, stronger government. And in 1789, he was the only president in history to be unanimously elected. As the first president, he knew every action would set a precedent for the future of the Republic. He established the cabinet system, bringing brilliant but warring minds like Thomas Jefferson and Alexander Hamilton together to forge policy. He navigated the nation's first major crisis, the Whiskey Rebellion, demonstrating that the federal government would enforce its laws, but doing so with restraint. And most importantly, after 2 terms, he walked away again, establishing the peaceful transfer of power as a cornerstone of American democracy. But the man wasn't a saint. He was a product of his time, and his legacy is complex. He was a wealthy landowner and a slaveholder his entire life. While his views on slavery evolved, and he privately expressed his desire for its abolition, he never took public action. In his will, he did arrange for the emancipation of the enslaved people he owned, a final contradictory act from a man wrestling with the nation's original sin. In 1796, his farewell address offered timeless warnings. He cautioned the young nation against the dangers of political factions and permanent foreign alliances, advice that echoes to this day. When he died in 1799, he was mourned as first in war, first in peace, and first in the hearts of his countrymen. He left behind a legacy not of divine right, but of restraint, integrity, and profound civic duty. He could have been a king. Instead, he chose to be a citizen. No crown, just precedent, and a country to run.